So there's a very large American company, I won't name just in case, you know, there's a conflict of interest, but they've been in Taiwan for 30 years. Huge factory here making stuff in Taiwan. And the factory is now closing. They're no longer going to do manufacturing or sales in Taiwan. And, you know, through whatever you want to call it, be it tax write-offs or, you know, magical ways that people in the offices crunch the numbers, they've decided that it was cheaper to leave most of the stuff here than to ship it back to the States, which a lot of it was shipped in from the States, like all the tools and everything else. So my boss basically got the contract to demolish this place, and our company is taking care of the demolition, but in the meantime we get to just take whatever we want that was left here, which is a lot of stuff. So to give you an example, whether it's something as simple as fire extinguishers or different types of gas for welding, these different welders and generators, all of which work, by the way, but that's not very nice, that's not very new. Everything from water heaters to desks. These are these nice Panasonic washers. There's a washer dryer combo over there. These are big industrial professional dryers. All this new stuff still in crates they never even unpacked. Again, more washers and dryers and things like that meant for employees' uniforms and clothing and whatnot. You know, little fans. Then just an insane amount of chairs and tables and whatnot. But then you come over here and we have all these big, just enormous, oversized split duct air conditioning systems. We have shelves full of spare parts, offices full of stuff, and back in here we've got everything from workbenches to these roll-around carts, devices. Got this enormous plasma cutter shipped in from the States, nice Lincoln Electric welders. This one will do the DC negative, DC positive, or AC all in one. They got several of those. We have a kiln. This pipe. Suddenly forgetting the name. If you know what it is, you know what it is. But it's for, you know, tubing and pipes and stuff. Another wall of more Lincoln Electric welders. Hydraulic press. Sandblasting cabinet. This big bandsaw. I mean, all of this stuff, as you can see, is big. It's industrial quality, meant quite literally for a big industrial application. Now, some of these have already been cleared out and empty. Some of the stuff is still there. What's crazy is that I have not. This is actually the building that's mostly empty. There's almost nothing in this building as far as good stuff. We are going to bring everything from all the other buildings on this enormous property, all the other warehouses and factories, and we're going to all bring it here so we can load containers and trucks here in this building and then ship them out back to Taichung. But that means that as excited as I am, like on a personal level, like, you know, you walk into a factory that's closed down and they've already left and closed shop, and you know, we basically own everything in it, and I see these name brand Lincoln Electric welders and it gets me all excited. Once I started going to the other buildings further down the property, those are the actual maintenance buildings. Those are the buildings that are dedicated specifically to metal fabrication and maintenance and things like that. So look at all this stuff, all these motors and pumps, and the size of that, like, this is insane. But you know, as much as all this stuff is cool, there's not a lot here. You go down to the maintenance building at the end of the road, and that's the one I've been spending most of my time in today. That one is full of lathes, milling machines, welders, plasma cutters, band saws, and all these other like specialty metal working tools and machines I'm not even actually familiar with. It's stuff that I've seen before, but stuff that I've never personally used. And I don't even know what the official name for some of the stuff is. I mean, it's the size of this forklift, which is also ours now. The reason why I keep repeating myself is because it's very hard to express just how big this property is, or just how much stuff there is here, or all the little things. Like I'm spending the whole day walking around figuring out what's worth keeping, what's not, figuring out what we're going to take, what we're not. And initially, my first pass through, I was like, oh, we're just going to keep everything because this is all good stuff. This is all useful. This can all be used. But now I've been into 4 different buildings, others of which are actually really packed full of stuff. It's like the people just left on short notice and didn't know they weren't coming back. I mean, I'm sure they did, but it's as if it's like a ghost town or something. You see all these desk drawers are still full of stuff. You see people's personal lockers. They still have their work clothes and their uniforms in those lockers. They have little bags of like instant coffee. All the tools are still in place at each person's workstation. Just everything is still here, as if people just all of a sudden just left in a hurry, like, fuck it, we're gone. So as I'm seeing more and more of these buildings, I'm spending more and more time like in detail, like getting close and looking at stuff and opening boxes. I'm realizing that there's so much stuff that I don't know where we put everything. I mean, it's so much stuff that it's filling up multiple buildings on this enormous property. So we would have to get rid of most of it anyway. I guess I just have to come up with a solution for my boss as far as what we're going to keep and use as our company tools, and stuff that we can use in the company, and then which stuff we're going to sell and which stuff we're just going to scrap because it's easier to just junk it, unfortunately. But one of the buildings down there was all office buildings, so it's full of computer monitors and printers and all sorts of electronics and safety equipment, and there's multiple big projectors. Not those projectors that you see like in a small office, but you know those really, really big like theater style projectors that hang from the ceiling of an auditorium. I've seen 3 of those so far. Had been removed from the ceiling. They're just sitting off to the side. They just didn't take them. So yeah. All right, I'm home for the weekend, and I wanted to show that of all the stuff I found. I was started talking at the end of that last clip about going through the office buildings and finding, projectors, computer monitors, which this is one of them, by the way. I just got this. It's a very nice flat panel monitor. Just literally hundreds of computer monitors and computers and projectors and printers and even large format printers that print like 4 feet wide. There's just so much stuff. But what I didn't even think about, what it didn't even occur to me, is that one entire room of that place in the office building was the area where they dealt with records and safety stuff, and they have cameras. They kept everything. Being a company, everything is bought through the company. There's a record of it, and they store it. Even when they stop using it, they store it somewhere. So not only do I have all these cameras from over the years of them using them, but a lot of times I actually still even have the box for these cameras. This, for example, really old, back from the 90s, back when the place first started up. I opened this nice leather case, and this is a Nikon FM10 with a 35 to 70 zoom on it. Still works, functions normally. They just ended up going digital, so this was put into the storage room and never touched again. These Casio point and shoot cameras, I've got all of these are all Sony point and shoot, like Cybershot point and shoot cameras, some of which are pretty sleek. Like, for example, not that one, but this one, super compact, tiny little thing. As you can see, like the size of my hand, it's minuscule, it's itty bitty, but the front pops down and reveals the little Zeiss lens. The back of the camera is just one big touch screen to control everything. 20 megapixels, I believe. No, this one's 16 megapixels. The other one's 20. This is the Canon the PowerShot D30, their waterproof, like, tough camera. This is a Canon Ixus point and shoot. This, it's just a basic, simple little Nikon, but it's got this nice, still nice, like smooth, clean, like suede case. You take it out and it's this little Nikon point and shoot. This thing is, it's all metal. It's all nice, shiny, like metallic flake, like metal. And something about it is just, it looks nice and it feels good in the hand. It has that little cover for the lens. It's a nice little camera. By the way, I threw a lot of cameras away because I stayed up all night testing them, charging batteries and testing these cameras. And these are just the ones that I know for sure work. There's a bunch more that had been crushed or broken on the site at some point, and they kept them, but they didn't work, so I already tossed them. These all function. Then we get into the ones that I was really excited about, which is the Olympus Tough series. So this starts back here with this one is called the Tough 6010. That's a 6010. Then the two of these side by side, they're identical. These are the Tough, I think these are the 620s. Yeah, TG 620. This is a TG 810, 14 megapixel. These are the three of them side by side, all identical. These are the Olympus Stylus TG 870s. Now I really like these, and I'll talk about that in a second. There's three of these, all side by side. All of them work. 1, 2, 3 870s. And then these two, they look identical, but they're actually different because they kind of are identical. Now this is cosmetically looks nicer than this one does, but they both function perfectly. This is actually an older one. This is a Olympus TG5, and this is the Olympus TG6. Now, if you've looked at your spec sheets, you'll know that the TG5 has whatever specs it has, and then the only thing they changed, quite literally, the only thing they changed, as far as I know, is they upgraded the screen resolution to a high-res screen, and they called it the TG6. So these essentially are identical cameras. This one just has a high-resolution screen. Both of them function normally. I'm super stoked about all of these cameras. I'm going to have fun with. But this is the camera I always wanted from the Tough series. I didn't even know this one existed, but now that I'm seeing it and playing with it and reading about it, I think I might like it more than this. It's a toss-up depending on what I want to do. I'm definitely going to keep at least one of each. But with the rest of these, this is just what I found so far. There's other buildings I haven't even been into yet. So I found a box for a Nikon W300, but I haven't found the camera yet. All in total, there's also a Panasonic over there. It's an FX3, very old point and shoot. The Panasonic FX3, I think it came out in 2006. It's got a CCD sensor in it and the Leica lens. Matter of fact, it's right there. FX3, still in the box with all the accessories. So anyway, it's been a good trip so far. I was able to get a nice welding helmet. I was able to get an infrared imaging camera, some good respirator systems for my shop, and of course a bunch of cameras. I don't need all these though. These all work, but I don't need all of these. So I'm not sure what I'll do with them. If you have any ideas, like, let me know in the comments, because what am I going to do with 25 point and shoot cameras? I have no need for these. So anyway, I'm happy. I'm gonna see if I can come up with something creative. But anyway, other than that, I'm gonna get back to the weekend and then go back to work on Monday, and maybe I'll find some other cool stuff. But thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.